Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to today's Instagram glow up call with Beverly. I'm just going to give you the rundown of what we're going to do in this call. We always start with our worksheet. We are going to discuss Beverly's social media goals. And then there's going to be three of them that we're going to focus on. We're going to give her a profile audit, go through her bio, which we call the value proposition statement, your profile photo, just make sure that's in check, any links that you are sharing within your profile and some best practices there. What is your call to action? And then also, what are you using, if you're using it all? Highlight covers. Once we're done with the top half of your Instagram, we're going to focus on the bottom half, and that's all your content. So we're going to make sure that you're being consistent. I'm going to teach you some tricks for that. We're going to look through your content and categorize it using our EIEIO method. Talk about your Instagram stories and how you're utilizing that or not using it. Really dive into a little bit of how important your link clicks are and what that even means, and how you're using hashtags if you are, and whether we suggest you continue doing so. We're going to talk about what's working on your account at the very end. We're going to give you three things and say these three things are working great. And then we're going to talk about three things that aren't working so great. And then at the very end, finally, we're going to leave you with some recommendations on how to take that ball and move forward. So for all you out there in YouTube land, that's how this call is going to go. But without further ado, Beverly, I would like you to introduce yourself and tell us who you are, what you do, and how people can work with you.
Hi, I'm Beverly. I'm a hairstylist here in the lovely downtown McKinney Square. I rent a chair at Rayfield and Company, and there are three main ways that you can book your next appointment with me. It's either by texting me, you can also call the salon, or go to our Rayfield and Company app and book online there.
Okay, and we will have all that information in the description below this glow up call YouTube video. So, okay, let's first start by telling us what is your Instagram handle, and will you spell it for us?
Um, it is
I've got it right here. If you don't,
Hairstylist.
no, it's Hair by Beverly Stahl.
Oh,
I'm
Hair
looking at it. Hair
by
by Beverly, Beverly Stahl, Stahl.
Okay, Hair by Beverly Stahl.
Yeah.
So we've gotten one thing out of the way. Check. Great. On your Instagram, and we can just go ahead in a second and go over there. Um, Tell me, what is it? First of all, Instagram's your primary social media platform, correct? What would you say are your top three goals? What do you want Instagram to be doing for you?
I say my top goal, and I was thinking this over the weekend, would be to inform the clients that I already have and already like on what new products and treatments are available to them, or even informing them on treatments that they might not know that I already do, such
Mhm.
as like Brazilian blowouts, or we just got the new Milbon products in and their treatments. Because I already like those clients, so I know that I enjoy them already, and just would like to maximize their experience at the salon. So that's kind of my number one right now. Um, Generating then to like referrals from them, um, and their group of people, because um, birds of a feather flock together. So again, if I like them, I'm gonna like who they're connected with too. Um, and just also connect with them too on like a personal level, and kind of show them what uh, I'm newer to Texas, and so I'm trying really hard this year to go out and enjoy more of like outside the salon stuff, and finding all the new barbecue places or new to me barbecue places or things to be to kind of show what I do outside of the salon a little bit too, to
There
show
you
my
go.
personality and who I am.
Okay.
So one thing you didn't say was generate new business or find new clients on their own. So that is not necessary. What you really want to do is build more relationship with the clients you already have and build a referral, get referrals from them and build the business that you have through them. But you're not necessarily looking for your Instagram to generate brand new clients.
I am not necessarily. I mean, it'd be okay with that, but I really prefer referrals instead of and
Okay.
that just because then you kind of weed out a little of the crazy. If
Yeah.
you already, if you can I say that?
Yes. Yes, you can say
Well,
that.
tell us who your ideal client is. You haven't mentioned that. So tell us who your ideal client is. I know, but tell us who your ideal client is.
My ideal client, we call her the JJ at Brayfield and Company. But she is someone who really cares about how she looks, how she feels, and everything. She's coming in on a regular basis to get her hair trimmed, to get the colors, doing multiple services, not just the basic cut, but going deeper and into taking care of her hair. Also taking home the products that I suggest that she uses so that she's keeping up and kind of being that billboard for me in between time too, but also really cares about her appearance
Mhm.
and what she's using at home and staying on top of the new fashion trends and what's going on in the beauty industry herself.
Okay, I love that. I think it's very, very key, and it's probably indicative of your industry, um, hair, that you have a glass ceiling. There's only so many people that you can service in a month and still have a life. And
Yes.
so having quality clients that have multiple services and purchase products and come back regularly keep you in a consistent income that's predictable and allows you to make more by servicing less, because you don't have to get the volume because they're getting multiple services and they're clients that you are already tried and true and you know that you gel well with, and they're not going to be mean or whatever. um I love that. So we call her the JJ. So that is what you should definitely call your client. If you ever build a customer avatar inside a chat, you can say, here's my JJ. Okay. All right. So I love that. So informing clients on the new products and services you provide, informing your existing clients. Um, so informational post for sure. Building a deeper relationship with those existing clients. I think that's going to come also by sharing their befores and afters and tagging them and giving them a reason to share your post to their feed, which then would get referrals. Relationship building and with that ideal client. Love it. And that's going to come into stories when we start talking about your content in a minute. Okay. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go over to your account. I apologize. I did not already have it pulled up because I wasn't sure. Let's see. Hair by. There you are. Okay. All right. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what we call your value proposition statement. It's who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and how people can work with you. The how people can work with you is your call to action, which is one of the other things we're talking about. But we like to build it into the sentence that we write as your bio. So right now you've got Hair by Beverly Stahl is your username. You've got McKinney Hairstylist as your name line inside the bio. Those are two different things. Then you have haircuts, dimensional coloring extensions, Minnesota transplant, learning how to be a Texan. Okay. Um, the address is showing. Is that taking up the fourth line of her profile, Angeline?
Yeah, it's you can see it all on your phone.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. It's fine. It actually looks okay. It looks a little different on the computer. But you can see her full bio and the address on the phone,
Okay.
which is good.
Got it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go to you on Instagram.
on your phone.
Yeah.
It
Uh,
does look a little bit different.
yeah, just so that because that's how most people will see it
Yeah.
anyway. You're on
Yeah.
your phone now anyway. Okay, so let's go to hair by Beverly Stone. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So it does look different. And
Hmm.
again, you still have to push more.
I didn't, but maybe because my font is smaller. It might be a font setting. I don't know. I can see it all. But
Okay. Well, either way, the point is we want everything to be seen in your profile without people having to click more. So we
hmm.
might want to take the bullets out just so that TX isn't like hanging on a not you can't see it. But again, who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and how people can work with you. So, who you are, Hair by Beverly Saul. Your name is in your username at the top.
Hmm.
McKinney Hairstylist, I like that, but I would even venture to say it might be good if you put McKinney Texas Hairstylist in your name line right here where it says McKinney Hairstylist. Put Texas here. And then down here, you can use that space to say something else. Um,
Yeah, you have it twice. I don't think she's right because you only have so much real estate right there. You don't really need it in that line as well.
right. But I do like McKinney Texas
I do
Hairstylist
too.
as your name line. I think that's
I do
really
too.
good.
I
That's
agree.
something that's working for you because we call that a geotag. So telling people right off the bat geographically where in the heck you're located is so
Yeah,
important
so
because you
good.
might say hairstylist, and a lot of them do, but they don't say where. So that's really good. So who you are, you're a Texas hairstylist, but tell us a little bit more description about who you are as a hairstylist. Are you a curl expert, a color expert? Do you deal with men or just women? What do you prefer? You can fly with the buzzards or soar with the eagles here. Let's just, spell out exactly who you want to be your JJ, right? And that's what we need to speak to in your value proposition statement.
Yeah. So
Tell us.
something along, so I happen to know you're really, really good at blonde. I know you do a lot of blonde, but that's not the only thing you do. But if you put, you have haircuts, dimensional coloring, extensions, that's what you do. But are you an expert or a pro level, or you're giving yourself a little credibility here? Is there anything that you could say, um, 15 years
Certified.
or certified or yes, or something like
Certifications.
or specialist, long hair specialist, something like that that gives again what it's twofold. It's giving you a little credibility. It's also calling in your ideal client. Does that mean you're not going to
Okay.
serve everybody else? No, of course, but if you love doing blondes, call in your ideal client.
Hmm. So tell
Okay.
us right now, who is that?
Um,
Who are you? I mean, who you are, what you do.
Put me on the spot. Okay. I would say I like the long, curly girl. Um, I do a lot of brunettes too, so it's not just so it's probably
Okay.
like color expert. So
Long curly girl expert, long curly girl and color expert.
okay.
Not okay. I really want this is where that
Yeah.
form comes into play where we're winging it right now. So I
Okay.
understand. But that so we're trying
Yeah.
to establish, for instance, for realtors, sometimes they'll say top producer, rail district expert, maybe a location that they're the best at. For you, long curly girl, I mean that that's a description. That's,
Mm.
you know,
Like, so you could say a specialist in long curly hair and dimensional coloring.
yep.
Like that right there, that's saying that you
Yeah.
are an expert with an expert in long hair, curls, and dimensional coloring. And you can even put in parentheses, you put extensions too, or something cute like that,
Yeah.
So you could say that I am a specialist in, okay. And then I actually love the Minnesota transplant, learning how to be a Texan. I love that because it says a
Mm-hmm.
little bit about your personality. It also resonates with people who either they're relos themselves or they're Texans who are like, oh, I want a teacher, like all that adds a little personality. So I love that. And I think all the rest is I love that you have your address there because I think you're on the square. Everybody knows that Louisiana Street address. Like it's a square everybody knows. So I think that has your location. I think that's really important because people are going to choose their hairstylist by location before
Mhm.
so I think the rest of it is really, really good. I think you could just dial in a little bit more on your ideal client, not just what you do.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been looking at other hairstylists recently and I was amazed with how many I'm like, but where are you at? Like
Right, right, right. So
The
don't
I,
obvious
I
stuff.
think I'm like, I think your accent is northeast, but and I'm like, nope, you're from Ireland. I'm like,
they they are
uh,
missing it completely. Yeah, you're right. So good for you.
Yeah.
so
Okay, so you know how to dial that in. If you ever use chat, this would be a good time to simply speak into chat, tell them the things that we just wrote down, specialist in long hair, curls, and dimensional coloring, Minnesota transplant learning how to be a Texan, and maybe ask chat to find a way to reduce that by like 3 or 4 words. Maybe there's a different way of saying that we don't know. Because you are going to be, subject to 150 characters with spaces. So you just want to make sure and keep that in mind. But definitely, if you take McKinney, Texas hairstylist out of your bio and just add Texas to your name line, you should be good. Okay, so we're done with that. Your profile photo, I think, is great. The only thing I would suggest is it's a little far away. Um, Profile pictures, I would prefer to see them from like the chest up, just so
mhm,
that it's a more intimate picture of your face and your smile. Because Instagram, you can't blow it up, they can't see you, and oftentimes it's hard to you don't there's really not a lot of pictures of you on your
mhm.
feed. It's clients. So it's important that that at least speaks to you. Um, oh, sorry. I followed you back from the dots page. Okay. Uh,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Sorry, that's my job and I forget sometimes. Okay. Your links, your link is just the Rayfield and Company. I love that, but I want to give you a idea. Have you ever heard of Bitly? No, okay,
No.
that's fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm gonna show you this website that will help you, and I'll tell you why we need to know it. Um, and I'm not, I can even spell it. It's bit.ly. It's free, okay? Bit.ly. And literally all you do, Beverly, is you create a new link. You click the blue button and you click create new and shorten link. That's it. That's pretty much all I ever do here. You could put Ray Field, and I'm not going to, well, I guess I could. She could do it on hers. Yep. So I'm going to do Ray Field and Company. Is that it?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
And I'm going to click create your link. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. So you see how it's got that garbly-gook 43EA.
Mhm.
It's all case sensitive, by the way. I'm gonna go over here to the pencil and change it. And I'm gonna edit the back half. My hair link 45, whatever. I don't know if that's available, but that's what I'm going to name it. Okay. So it's going to be bit.ly front slash my hair link 45. You can make that whatever you want. So I'm going to click save. Okay. So now my hair link 45. That link is what you want to put into your profile, not the Rayfield and Company. And here's why. Because when you have a link like this, let me show you my links. I'm going to show you one that's got a lot of engagement. Hold on. Okay, right here. They carry the load. So this was an event that I was marketing for a nonprofit. I turned their link to RSVP into a bit.ly link, RSVP CTL 2025. I can see that it was clicked 161 times. And when I click on that, I can see how many times it was clicked and on what day. So it was clicked 25 times on May 15th. So whatever I posted on May 15th did really well because I got 15 links, 15 clicks. Bitly allows you to track how many times that link specifically has been clicked and on what day. It will also tell you from what platform. So if you use that booking link all the time, that's why you edit the back half so that you can remember it. Okay. Remember it's case sensitive, so all lowercase or all uppercase, but I would just do lowercase. And see, it was clicked, 113 people clicked it directly because it's sent to their DMs. 40 came from Facebook, 7 came from Instagram. So clearly the email I sent out worked the best. You know what I mean? So I can keep that information in mind later. This is very granular, but that Instagram link right here, Rayfield and Company, you have no idea how many times or on what day that was clicked.
It just goes to their Google Analytics. They'll still get the Google Analytics at Rayfield and Company. It's just now allowing you that extra filter so you can have some analysis on your own performance on your page.
Yep. Okay. 100%. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to talk about your CTA. In this, your value proposition statement, we said specialists in long hair curls and dimensional coloring or color. You do want book your appointment today. Something about who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and how people can work with you. And then you just put like a little pointing emoji or an arrow down emoji. And then the link is where they go to book their appointment. Or you could just say something like learn more, book today, let me fix your hair, whatever. Whatever you want to put there. But it needs to have this part needs to end with a call to action. All right, your highlight categories, books and reviews. I would, instead of reviews, I might say clients, happy clients or something. And then books. That's just a personal post by you because those are books that you read. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Instead of books, you might want to say, I love reading, or I love, and then a little book emoji, something like that.
Yeah.
I do recommend that you have consistent highlight covers. And I can just tell you that are you familiar with Canva?
Yes.
Okay, inside of Canva, when you log in and you go to create a new graphic, just type in Instagram highlight covers.
Okay.
And there's a bazillion templates. And then
There's even one, if you look for hairstylists, you can probably even find some cute ones that have little like hand-drawn emojis.
Okay.
so
But
cute.
one thing so we've just talked about long hair, curly hair, dimensional coloring, and also extensions, because I know that's a big profit center for you. So let's just take those four for examples. You should have highlights for long hair, curly, extensions, and dimensional coloring. So that and again, you're not just going to have to create new product. You're going to now start sharing some of your content to your stories, and you might create stories individually as well. But just at a basic level, what you're going to do is begin to categorize your posts and put them in these files. So it's kind of like you're just dropping them into certain folders. So if somebody has curly hair, they want to go see your curly hair, some of your curly hair
Your
work.
work.
Yeah. Now they can click on the curly hair highlight and see some of your examples, whether it's you educating on curly hair, whether it's you showing before and after, or you cutting anything. Again, I think this is actually, it's going to lead into your entire content strategy, those 4 buckets. Okay. Long hair, curly hair, dimensional coloring, and extension. Those should be your 4 buckets of people you want to basically story brand workshop, which is the call we just did. Story brand workshop, talk about their problem solutions. And that way, if you become a specialist, maybe in some of those categories, it'll help you know what to create content about, where to put
Mhm.
it, and how people will then now be able to refer you.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, just simply put, how would you categorize this one right here? This first post?
Remember what it was.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What?
Um, oh, this one would be dimensional coloring.
Okay,
Yeah.
dimensional coloring. So then you would just share this to your story from your
Okay.
phone and then categorize it in the highlight called dimensional coloring.
Okay.
Hmm. And then this one, did you know
Same.
you don't? Okay. What about this one?
That one is again about the coloring,
Okay.
I think.
So what you'll find here is, this one's probably this is the Brazilian blowout, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this one, what would this one be?
That
That
one
was a
was
cut. That was a
a
big
cut.
cut.
That was
Yeah.
a big
Okay.
cut, yes.
Yeah, so maybe long hair.
Yeah.
But anyways, you can start to see how you're going to be able to fill up those categories because you could literally, once you create those highlights, you could go back and categorize all your stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you
Okay.
know? And you
Yeah, and maybe not every single, like if you're doing a cut, maybe that doesn't necessarily go into a highlight. That's
only
okay.
the long hair one.
Right, right. Or
Yeah.
yeah, like so you don't have to, but I know that one of your, I happen to know this because you are my hairstylist and we talk about this, but I do know that one of the things that uh you struggle with is like I forget or I don't know what to post about. So you're not thinking ahead of what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have this kind of content strategy, when you know it's on your books that day, you're gonna be like, okay, that's a coloring, that's a curl. Ooh, that's a curl. I really need more curly girl content. Awesome. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
remember to get content with her, you know?
Yeah.
So it'll help you start thinking about what kind of content you need and being sure, very strategic about what's on your calendar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So your highlights need to mimic what you're pushing up here. So if you
Okay.
say you're those things, then have highlights that prove it.
Okay. Makes
Um,
sense.
Okay, so we are done with your profile audit. The second half, which is great because we're right on time, is whether or not you're consistent, EIEIO, stories, link clicks, and hashtags. Um, let's let's talk about for a second. You have a lot. How many clients would you say per week that you have?
Oh gosh. Maybe like 30.
Okay, so let's just say 30. Now, how many of those clients do you think would let you take a before and after?
Oh, they do what I say.
Okay, all of them. Okay. So let's say, just for giggles, that you have, let's just cut that in half. Let's say you have 15 posts per week that you can make,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you just go ahead and just every week starting today Okay. Just start from Tuesday to Tuesday and just always go Tuesday to Tuesday. You just collect those before and afters. Okay.
Mhm.
Put them in a folder called social media. And then you literally pick the 5 that were the best from
Mhm.
those 15, and you might have 30. That's fine. Just make it a habit of a before and after and collect 30, but choose your 5 best. Then
Mhm.
schedule them for the next week. So you're always a week behind in posting those,
Yeah.
so it's not that week, but you've been able to scrub through them and do the ones that were really going to make you shine.
Okay.
And
Um,
I do think there's a lot of value too in like the ones where like, okay, right there you say, did you know you don't always have to use lightener, or the one where it's like, this is why you don't want to use, color at home, where you're giving those kind of educational type nuggets. Those, I love it. I love when you like reason 946 to not to color your hair at home. That is a great picture right there. That's a great cover photo. That's a great hook, because her hair looks very frizzy and dry, and I'm assuming that's why, right? Like, that's one of the
broken.
reasons. So that's super awesome. Like I feel like Beverly, when you do post, you do a good job at like bringing in the humor, like at that one at the top where you're like, oh, I forgot to post the picture. That's
Mhm.
calling yourself out. Forgot to take the after picture. Click on that one, Brooklyn. Let's look at this real quick. I'm gonna take all the pictures of hair for social media today. And then you forget to take them all. You know, like that is so funny. Like yeah. I mean, that's a great post. That's a great post. It just says, "Hey, I just completely forgot." So I think your biggest challenge is that if we could overcome this first, you're not posting very often. Like you're a once a week
Yes.
kind of girl.
The consistency is the number
Consistency,
one thing
the
that
number one.
yes. And
You
and
need volume.
it's not so much, well, okay, there's 2 reasons. And I just said this to Angelin earlier. I call it your digital surface area. Okay. So the more surface area you think about a bedroom, all right? If there's a wall and a door and a closet, you have no wall space to put your dresser on. It becomes a problem, right?
Mhm.
Well, in marketing, in Instagram, if you aren't creating posts, then there's nothing for people to see, right? So, consistency gives you more digital surface area so you can predictably start growing incrementally. But if you're so sporadic, it doesn't happen. You don't, there's nothing to notice. There's nothing to say, oh, I did this, so that worked. So you've got to be consistent. 2 to 5 times a week is fine for you. You've got so much simple, great content that you should easily be able to get 5 posts. If you remember
Mhm.
half of your before and afters, then you are
Yeah.
gold. And also consistency trains Instagram to trust you, that you're going
Mhm.
to be there because they're not going to start serving you up on a silver platter to people and to show your reels to if they don't think you're going to be there next week.
Okay.
So the consistency trains the algorithm and makes Instagram trust that you're going to keep showing up.
So,
Okay.
what do you feel like would help you most if, and because there's a couple of things that I'm wondering is why you don't post more often. Why does it just become like at the end of every day you're making a post of what happened that day? I mean, this is one thought. I love what Brooklyn said too about like kind of actually planning ahead. But to kind of create this habit, what if you like went into every day and said, okay, what am I going to capture today? Like thoughtful about the day ahead.
Mhm.
But also, is there are you not set up for it? Is there friction in your area? Like, do you have, would it be easy for you to capture media, or does that stress you out? Is that causing a problem? Like, do we need to reduce the friction, or do we need to come up with ideas for content you could capture? What seems to be the reason why you don't post? Let's see if we can overcome that.
Sometimes I look at my pictures and I overanalyze them
You want to
and don't think that
stop
they're
sharing,
Oh,
Brooklyn, so we
sorry,
can
sorry,
we're looking at your Gmail.
sorry. I was just trying to fill out your form.
I know. I was like, okay, so go ahead.
sometimes sometimes when I do actually remember, I like overanalyze them and I'm like, oh, they're gonna see that line in the haircut or they're gonna see that like um so that is part of it. And then it's mainly about remembering to get the stuff to take the pictures. So
Hmm.
I think along with looking at my day ahead, I'm going to start being like, wait, this star the ones where I'm just like, for sure this one, for sure this one, like to get pictures. So, because I do try to look at my day ahead just to see like where I can add on services and stuff like that. So to put a star by will be like this, get this person, get that person. That'll that's how my brain works. Is I need sometimes I tell even like the receptionist, I'm like, remind me to do this, and they're like, okay, and they just know like I'm just telling them so that I myself remember. I don't actually need them to remember. Do you guys ever do that? You know what I'm talking about? So
Uh-huh.
if I just put the star beside the ones that I want to, that'll help me remember.
Yeah.
It's the way my brain works. It's no, please tell me somebody else's brain works that way.
Sure. But at the same time too, it's not just about before and after pictures. I want you to tell the story. I want you to get more video, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
get more video, not just before and after pictures, but video of think about B-roll video of like you chatting it up with a friend. Um, um, I'm gonna find a tool that I just recently got that I love, love. I'm gonna go get it here in a second. That I want you to get because it sticks on. Well, here's the box for it. Here's, I think it's actually in my bedroom, but this sticks on a mirror. It's a section on a mirror and it holds your phone like on the thing so you can put it on your mirror and it's just like how seamless because you're sitting in front of a mirror the whole day. So that would
Yes.
get you a ton of good B-roll that
Yeah.
if you just chatting it up, I mean, no sound, but you with your clients, um,
Yes.
that would be really good. Um, uh, it's more about just it's the starring to look for opportunities, yes, but it's not just about the before and after. Let's tell the
Mm-hmm.
stories. Let's have a plan of some fun things you could capture. Like you're funny. You have a sense of humor. Let's go find some inspiration from other accounts. You're like, oh, I could do that. And then you got to go
Yeah.
recreate it. Um,
Okay.
And
and
go into your day like 2 or 3 days a week, maybe on your lighter days, where you
Yeah.
might not have so much, or maybe your busy days because you're gonna be up there all day and maybe I don't know. But like she said, come up with some ideas and think of some things that you could film.
Mm-hmm.
We do that, and if you need us, we could help you recreate that. But you're pretty good at that anyway.
Okay. I
Um,
think it's a lot of me getting in my head
mhm.
and just needing to learn just and being in the salon I can do it, but like when you post on it's the world to see, I have a little like usually I'm kind of like a whatever, fuck it, let's do it. But on social media, then it's out there and like everybody else, and I don't know why that's intimidating to me. By myself, I really and with my friends, I don't. I'm I'm pretty easygoing. I don't really care what I look
listen.
like.
If you were the only person, Brooklyn has to tell me the same thing. And guess what? I
Yeah,
do this for a living, but she tells me the same thing. So get over yourself. Like just post it. She's had to
yeah,
talk me off the ledge in the last 30 days. Girl, it's normal. I mean, I can't tell
mm-hmm,
you that every single one of our clients that we have these calls, they all say the same thing. You're not the
yeah,
only one to feel vulnerable. So that should give you some comfort. Every person feels like a damn idiot when they post the
yeah,
no hit post. It's okay. Like,
yeah,
but when you see me post something or you see one of your clients, you're like, yeah, go girl, right? You're not thinking, oh, look at her. She had a cut that was like, "Ugh." Well, I promise you, we aren't seeing that. We're not seeing that. We don't know anything, you know? So we're not judging you. We're cheering you on. And I think
Mhm.
you just, and that's because, and think about, well, what do I think when I see people? Well, I'm happy for them, excited for them. That's what people
Yeah.
are saying about you. So I know it's really hard to get used to it. It's,
Yeah.
it's okay. You can do it. Do it scared.
Yeah.
Yep. And as far as, I mean it's I'm going to tell you why to use stories instead of saying use stories, because getting you consistent on your feed is the first hurdle. I think we've kind of given you some tools on how to do that. But
Mhm.
stories are really going to accomplish the three goals that you set at the top. That's informing your clients on new products and services, that's building a deeper relationship with your existing clients, and that is getting more referrals. And let me tell you why. We worked hard to get one link up there in your profile, right? Every story you post, you can post that same link as a link sticker on the story. So imagine that if you have long hair, curly hair, extensions, and dimensional coloring examples throughout your week, and you share those to your stories, or you even like do a little story of her going like this or whatever, and then you put a link, your bit.ly link, that same link in the story, and you tag that client, that
Mhm.
client is going to share that story. It's easy. Add to story. You've seen that before. They can easily add it to their story. There's no thought about it. They're singing your praises, and now you're borrowing their audience. And now that her audience can easily click that little link right next to your face and be like, I want to book an appointment with her. My hairdresser sucks. I'm looking for a new girl. Whatever, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
so it makes it frictionless. And now you can categorize that into long hair, and that link
Mhm.
lasts forever. So that does all of those things, but it encourages the share, right? And then the other thing
Yes.
is like you pouring your coffee, you making your coffee, or mixing your thing, or squirting the whatever. Another day, another dollar, whatever you want to put, or working
Yeah.
9 to 5, whatever you want. Well, no, I'll be done in like 5 minutes. You sure? I can get her. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Yes, thank you. So sorry. Lila has to be picked up. But anyways, your stories, ele your stories are seen by the people that are already following you. Very rarely
Mhm.
does someone that's not following you come to your page and click on your stories. Your stories are
Mhm.
what shows up at the top of their page. So, simple B-roll, that we call it nothing burger content. It's just you sweeping up, putting hair in the trash, clean barbasoling or whatever you call it, your scissors, all those little things that are behind the scenes that you can just talk about in your stories are going to build those relationships with your existing clients.
I totally agree. Like if that's what you want is more referrals, you've got to make it easy to have referable content. Um,
Uh-huh.
I also think that you being on the square, like the salon is so charming. So walking in the door, feeling, being in that old building, pouring the glass of wine for your clients, all those things that people go, ooh, that
Mhm.
salon looks fun. That looks like a place I would want to go. Or like what we're seeing outside our window of the salon today. That's a great story because there's always something going on, right? In downtown McKinney.
Yeah.
So all those things are really good content ideas.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. 100%. I would love to see the front of your building and see where you park. Even driving into the parking lot and saying, this, y'all, just so you know, this is the best parking lot to park in
Mhm.
when you're coming to see me for hair day.
Ooh, that's a good one because everybody
It's a
parking
challenge.
parking is interesting downtown.
Well, if
So,
it's
but
interesting,
we have some hidden secrets.
yeah.
So,
And then also, there's all kinds of great restaurants around you. If y'all
mhm.
order out or you leave for lunch break to go down and get some food somewhere, film
Mhm.
yourself, even your feet walking on the sidewalk, and then
Mhm.
with a little thing that says going to Spoons to pick up some fried pickles, if you know, you know,
Yes.
and then a link to Spoons.
Yeah.
And tag spoons, and
Yeah.
now maybe they'll share your stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so all those fun ideas. Okay, so we've given you some good ideas here and some must-dos, which is like consistency and changing your profile and then creating your highlights for all those content buckets. So what's
Mhm.
going on in Beverly's head right now? So we're going to write this down. Like, what are you thinking? I can do this, or what are my obstacles? What's coming up right now that's like I'm still scared to, or I don't think I can, or what? What is it?
I think that this is what I needed to get started. It just
Okay.
it's I told you a couple weeks ago, this I feel is my last thing that I don't do well at with my business. Everything else, I mean, there's some stuff that's a little sketchy, but like this is this is kind of my last like hurdle thing. But this honestly, a lot of this stuff, it's just getting out of my head, and so like this call, I think, is what I needed to like just get out of my head and just do it, and who cares? Like it'll it'll be good for the business no matter what. So
It'll be good.
Yes.
And if you start getting into it, you'll actually start having fun with it. I promise
yes,
you. It
Yes.
really is.
So what's working for you right now, and we're just going to leave you with this. You put your geography, McKinney, Texas, multiple times in your profile, and that is really good. That's overlooked so many times, as you said. You already have humor. You already have the ability to make reels. And my favorite thing about what's working with you is you have lots of clients that are willing to be filmed, photographed. They'll do
Yeah.
anything you want. So those things are key ingredients to being successful. What's not working is just being consistent. Your current bio, you can go and rewrite pretty easily, and then creating those highlights that back up what you say in your bio. So
yeah,
the recommendations that we have for you are put those stars next to those clients, get way more content than what you need so that you have the best to choose from. If you only get 3, those are your best and your worst 3, right? So get yourself 5 or 6. Um, rewrite your bio, create your highlights, um, and absolutely start doing stories.
okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
Yeah. Well, I think this is good, and I love that little nugget that you said at the end. I'm going to go grab it out of this thing and put it on social media.
Yes. Okay. Well, we'll be watching. So we
And
want,
Yes.
I'll send you a copy of this here in a minute. Okay.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you guys so
oh,
much.
you're
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.